Hello friends. World over, any rule or order for conducting the meeting is known as parliamentary procedures, and which is the most common and used rule is the Roberts Rule of Order. He was a general in the US military, and before 19th century, in fact, he wrote this rule, in which several editions have come thereafter, and I think the last one was in 2011. So what is Roberts Rule of Order? It is a rule written with proper procedures. It gives equal opportunity to everyone to speak out, to give their mind, their thoughts. It takes care of minority because an opportunity is given to all class of thinking, thoughts, ideas. And how it is done? By way of a proper defined procedures. Before I speak about rule number 1, let me also tell you, you are on the board or committees of any NGOs like Rotary International, like Lions International, JCs, and hundreds of other NGOs, either as a chairman or as a participant. So everywhere, if these rules are applied properly, the meeting or the conference or the congress will be conducted very smoothly. Similarly, for the chairman, he must understand what are the items on the agenda. He must be thorough about every item because the questions may be asked which he has to answer. So, rule number 1 is that advanced preparation, proper notice, proper agenda, with a proper venue, with a right proper timing which can be convenient for everyone. So day, date, timing with a notice or agenda, this is the advance, and the information about the subject is the advance preparation. This is rule number 1. So if you are a chairman of a housing society, when you are circulating this agenda to the members, you must be aware what are the items written therein, about which you can be asked questions or there can be discussions. Now the second and most important rule is that how to carry out the business in the meeting smoothly. So you have the agenda or a notice. When you start the meeting as a chairman, you have to declare that yes, you are calling the meeting to order. Then you have to ensure that proper quorum is there. Quorum is minimum attendance which is required to conduct the business of that society or of that company or of that group, which again is defined in various laws as per their own regulations. So a quorum is established. Then you need to read the minutes of the previous meeting, that what happened in the previous meeting. If it is a meeting which is in continuity for any corporate, any society or any forum, because the meetings are on a continuous basis, those minutes should be read, should be approved, and action taken report must be presented. The people there may participate about the corrections in the meeting, any modification, alterations which have not been included or incorrectly included in the minutes, and the minutes gets confirmed. After having done that, the agenda items start. So now how do you carry out the item by item, and how do you really place it before the members, the participants? For that you need motions. What is your motion? What is the subject which you want to get approved or discuss? So a motion is a intent which is moved in a meeting which requires a proposer and a seconder and then puts onto the floor for discussions, and after having passed becomes a resolution. But in that process, how one participate? How one is recognized by the chairman? For that, there are various kind of motions which has priorities. You can have the point of order, you can have point of information, you can have point of privilege. Now what are the points? When a motion is on a floor and somebody wants to contribute in discussions, he may raise his hand. Once recognized by the chairman, he may say, "It is my point of information, Mr. Chairman," and can give the information which can help in taking the decision on that particular motion. Similarly, if a motion is there on the floor and the discussion is deviating from the motion or the agenda item, one can just raise the hand and on being recognized say, "Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order." So point of order has a precedence over point of information. The chairman will ask you, "What is your point of order?" Then you have to say that my point of order is that the discussion is deviating from the main subject to something which is unrelated, non-related to the subject, and that's my point of order. Bring back the discussion in order. And if chairman finds merit, he will say your point of order is in order, and accordingly then continues the meeting. You can also have the point of privilege. Now what is I'm just giving a few examples. Now what is the point of privilege? Mr. Chairman, my point of privilege is that the meeting which was to end as per the pre-decided time at 5 p.m. has exceeded its time. It's already now 5:15 or 5:30. So it is your privilege which is to the person. You may have anything, you may have any other work. You might have planned your affairs accordingly. So something which is affecting you, like my point of privilege is that this room is very hot and it's very uncomfortable to sit. So can we do something? If the chairman finds merit, he will say, "Yes, your point of privilege is taken and necessary rectifications will be done." Or the chairman may seek the opinion of the audience, the participants. What should we do? Shall we continue the meeting, or shall we adjourn it, or adjourn for some time, or adjourn infinite? So there are certain privileges, certain orders, certain motions which are available to you for taking part in the discussion for passing a motion. Now, after the motion is on the floor, the discussion has taken place, the chairman decides that enough discussion has taken place and would ask the members present that we will take it for vote. So, those in favor, raise your hands He asks the secretary or the person who has been appointed to count, and those who are against should raise their hands, and if he finds there is a major difference, he just said that passed by majority, carried, motion is carried by majority in case some opposition is there, or if there is no opposition, motion is carried unanimously. So then it becomes a resolution which gets into the minutes. Now we have covered that how the advance preparation is to be done, how the meeting starts, how the item on the agenda is taken, which are the orders which are available to a participant and members by which he can participate. One more example I will give. If a person is continuously ignored by the chairman, he can once again raise the point of privilege, and many a time, if not recognized again, he stands up and says, my point of privilege, Mr. Chairman, I am being ignored continuously and my views are not taken into consideration. And the chairman has to acknowledge that and give him the opportunity. This is what Robert's Rule of Order says. Now, say like first item of agenda is complete. So the chairman takes it to the second item, third item, fourth item, whatever is there. And if there is any other matter also in the agenda, then chairman from the floor can invite any item to discuss, or if he has a few points, he can throw those points onto the floor for discussions. But as per the rule, no resolution can be passed on an item which is under any other item, which is of significance, have major bearing, because for which notice is not given. So, the members who have not attended may object. So, discussion can take place. Now, here one more very important part of the rule, Robert's Rule, is that the chairman is there for a smooth conduct of the meeting, to take the views from the people and to arrive at a decision by concluding or summarizing those discussions. But what we see in everyday's life, that the chairman himself start discussing on the item which is on the floor first and start influencing his mind to the people. So, it's absolutely unjustified, because a member who wants to discuss, looking at the views of the chairman, may not discuss or give his views, and it will look like the chairman has bulldozed all the participants and killed the democracy. So the chairman should give either his views at the end of the discussion, or just summarize the discussion and come to a conclusion which is acceptable to all or a majority. Now, when we are talking about the motions, let us also understand how many types of motions are there. So, there is a main motion, which is the main item of the agenda, the resolution proposed. Then there is a subsidiary motion. It can be which facilitates the passing of that main motion. So, like, let's have some more discussion, and I propose that this particular matter or a motion be referred to a committee with a particular mandate. This is subsidiary motion. There can be an incidental motion, incidental to the main motion, to get some more information, to get modification, amendments, and there is a privilege motion. like to decide in advance the time of conclusion of the meeting. It's a privilege motion. So friends, if you apply the small rules of parliamentary procedures, mainly taking cue from Robert's Rule of Order, you will be successful either as a chairman or as a delegate or a participant or a member of a board of any company, organization or your own society for that matter. Do practice it. Thank you.